This is what it's like to argue with Liverpool fans.
Oh,
No. They are
mate.
absolutely unbearable. They will find a way to put one of their players in. Salah's been garbage all season.
More output.
What are we doing?
What do you mean?
This is a travesty. He wouldn't start for any other team based off his performances. Because I'll finish that. I'm astounded. I really am. I can't believe it. Hello everybody, welcome to Never United, the podcast with a Liverpool fan and a Man United fan. A happy Man United fan after tonight. Break that game down for me, mate. It was tough to watch as a United fan, I've got to be honest.
Yeah, cagey. I thought if Brentford had a bit more quality...
A bit more quality? You said to me during the game, you don't believe me on this Man United myth.
I did.
At Old Trafford, we concede a banger every single game.
I said to you, if one happens tonight, I'll believe you and hold my hands up. It happened.
Do you believe me?
What is it? And the answer's got no right to be banging that in from there.
Danny Welbeck scored a free kick against us. Kevin scored for Fulham.
Kevin's the one.
Dewsbury Hall scored a screamer into the top corner.
Yeah.
Let me know if there's some more, because I know I'm forgetting some.
Look, I don't want to blow smoke up your ass, but there will be an element of you rise to these big games. Anfield and Old Trafford are such historic stadiums. You know, like Kadioglu scored a belter against us, so I understand what you're saying. You know what I mean? But it'll be their cup. It'll be their cup finals, mate, and they have to admit it. Not necessarily the fans, because going to Old Trafford now isn't quite what it used to be. But the players will still see it as the biggest domestic stadium in England. A chance to, you know, if you look at Leeds, how well they played the other week compared to the FA Cup, they will rise to it.
I'm sick of it.
I thought Igor Thiago, in play, I called him the worst player ever to reach 20 plus goals in the Premier League. It's obviously a little bit harsh because when he's on it, he's on it.
That's a good question. Who's the worst player to ever score 20 Premier League goals?
He'd be up there in terms of like
what he's actually achieved in the game so far.
Yeah, but that could be a good one.
I mean, there's no bad player who scored 20 Premier League goals.
Yakubu.
Patrick Bamford get close. He got 18 once, I think.
That would be that's not right.
Who actually has? I mean, we go back some years. There were some players that you wouldn't even think they're not household names anymore.
Well, it used to be it felt like it was a lot more common for people to score 20 plus these days because of all the goals are spread across so many different players. You're not getting that one focal. I mean, it's an unbelievable achievement, and his goals have fired Brentford into potentially.
He's been fantastic all season.
Yeah,
a poor night.
But a poor night. What I mean, and Atara wasn't bang on it. He usually takes his defender on or whatever. So that you had a lot of moments where it was cagey for you. It never really looked like it was.
I don't know. I felt uncomfortable. I thought it was a horrible game to watch. I thought Man United were pretty poor defensively, but were last ditch a lot of the time, so got themselves back recovering a lot of the time, so that was good.
You got a goal from being last ditch, really.
Yeah, a lot of space.
Challenge.
A lot of space in midfield for Brentford, which was a little bit concerning going into the Liverpool game, obviously at the weekend. But to grind out a win like that, I think is really that for me is a massive positive sign. To win when we're not doing really, really well.
Sign of champions.
A sign of finishing above Liverpool.
No, it's a good win. I said it's such a strange period because it feels like Liverpool have massively underachieved this season, which obviously we have, but it's the potential that we still get into Champions League, and really if you finish second or fifth, doesn't matter. But it felt like I wanted, for the first time in a long time, it felt like I really wanted United not to win tonight, just because it makes that game on Sunday even more interesting. Still is, because it now closes the gap or opens the gap, depending on.
Yeah, I'm happy with the fact that we're going into that game with that little bit of a cushion. I think going into that game when you level points is tough because you're thinking they win here, it's not just 3 points dropped. It's 3 points gained for your closest rivals and the team that's chasing you down. So I think it's a massive, massive win. I gotta say how much I love Casemiro. I love that man. I really do. And I don't care what people say about Casemiro. I don't care whether he's been there a couple of years, 3, 5 years, whatever. When you play with your heart on your sleeve and you play with the passion, the desire, that man should go down as one of Man United's almost like a cult hero.
Cult hero.
He's not a legend, but a cult hero.
Yeah.
You've got to remember as well. He also scored a goal in a cup final that we won. And he scored massive goals in big moments for us. He scored goals in important times on the way to finals as well. So I think you've got to give. Yes.
Is he your Divock Origi?
No, he's better. But I love his story. I love his character arc at Man United. He comes in, massive price tag, loads of pressure, had a decent start, and then all of the criticism calling him out publicly. A lot of it really unfair as well from well-known pundits, and then the way he's delivered this season has been fantastic. He's got another goal again with his head. I said to you, he might be the top goal scorer with his head in the world this season. I can't think of another player.
No, he has to be. He's on 9 this season. In all of his previous seasons combined at United, he got 6.
Wow. Was that his 9th?
Yeah.
That takes him second top goal scorer for Man United in the Premier League this season. Benjamin Sesko is now top goal scorer in the Premier League this season. As you said, a lot of the goals are shared around. So can you criticise anyone for not scoring 20 goals this season? I'm not overly upset.
No.
But Bruno Fernandes, he's getting close to that record.
Yeah, they said they put the little stat up, didn't they, of him being on 19 and Henri De Bruyne. Is it just Henri and De Bruyne?
Yeah, 20.
On 20. And you said one more. And I said, well, 2 more to break it. He said, yeah, 1 more for the record, though. And I thought, if you've got 4 games left, you need to be backing yourself. And I think he'll do it.
How many opportunities are you going to get to break a record like that? Probably not many in a United shirt, and not many.
There might not be. It might not get broken for a very long time if he breaks it.
You said that. Is it a good? Imagine doing it when your team doesn't win a title. I said it's actually more impressive that your team's not been good all season and you can still break a record like that, because the teams that do tend to have players who break records win the league.
Yeah.
And that goes for assists or goals. And Man United haven't been good at all this season until Carrick came in, and he's still about to potentially break a record, or at least level it probably by the end of the season.
Yeah, and I see that side of it. I'm not completely deluded and biased that I couldn't see that point of view. It was more that they'll be able to have that stat of, in a league winning season, they got that, and for whatever reason people will see that. These statos work, and the way that people use certain individual, they'll go, oh yeah, well, he didn't do it in a league winning season, even though it might be better to have not done it. It just felt like it was probably me just jabbing you.
I said I've missed how much it winds you up that United win a game, and I haven't been able to see it very often with both of us in the same room this season. So yeah, I love it, and it's fantastic.
So I can't say, you were going to try and move on then, I'm not letting you get away with it. I can't say anything. You've got to think. If he says, I love seeing how much you get wound up, and I say, I don't get wound up, immediately his response is, seems like you are, mate. For me, I was on a couple of cards, a couple of goal scorers, and it was really disappointing. So that's where it was. Although,
fuming. For player of the season, give me your argument against Bruno Fernandes winning Premier League player of the season as a Liverpool fan.
The arguments would be that I don't actually believe in, would be that whoever wins the title should get should have the player of the season. I haven't got many arguments. I really haven't. I said that Igor Thiago, actually in a couple of episodes, I said that he might be in for it just because of the achievement of scoring as many goals as he could do. If Bruno Fernandes breaks the assist record and United get Champions League football, you look at Arsenal and City, so I'm actually giving you reasons why you should win it. You look at Arsenal and City, if either of those go on to win the league, who's their player of the season?
There's arguments for Bernardo Silva for City, and obviously Erling Haaland. There's arguments for Gabriel and Rice for Arsenal. I don't believe, considering what's happened with Arsenal, and it does feel like they have crumbled, and I don't care whether they go on to win the league or not. Mm-hmm. They were at a certain position. Their heads did go.
12 points.
I think that pure fact means that Rice and Gabriel can't win it, because they've struggled to drag their team over the line, and usually a player comes from a team that has achieved something, granted, but I can't say that United haven't achieved something if they get top four, if they get Champions League football, because of where we were before Michael Carrick came in. For Bruno Fernandes to be about to break a record like that for assists in the Premier League season, I think he absolutely, hands down, categorically should win Player of the Season.
Yeah, I can appreciate a player regardless of how much I can't stand him. I can't stand him. And Casemiro wound me up tonight as well. Just those theatrics, but you've got to do it these days. And it's like you said, it shouldn't actually be directed at the players. It should be directed at the referees. That's a subject. That's a different subject. I wouldn't be outraged and feel anger if Bruno Fernandes won it, because he would deserve it. I also wouldn't be surprised and outraged and angered if Rice or Gabriel or Bernardo Silva or Haaland or even flipping Cherky, if they ended up giving it to him.
Yeah.
Equally with Igor Thiago. What I would say is, although Bruno Fernandes has been fantastic and he breaks the record, I actually don't think for the first season in a while there hasn't been anyone that is just absolutely out of this world magnificent from start to finish. Bruno's been very, very good and consistent, but he still had a couple of
He had a poor start to the season, missed a couple of penalties, his head was a little bit wobbled. Yeah. But again, I think you look at a character arc, someone who's battled back from that adversity, all the noise that was around Bruno Fernandes at the start of the season, people trying to move him on and stuff like that. I think that considering everything that's happened to Bruno Fernandes this season and that story arc of people trying to move him on and the club trying to sell him to still put in the performances he has and potentially break a record that is an unbelievable record to break at 20 assists in a season, I think he deserves it. And I would think that if I wasn't a United fan.
Do you know what I mean though? We've had Salah banging in 20, double figures or plus 20 goals and assists, and you got Haaland and breaking goal scoring records and things from start to finish. It just feels like there isn't anyone apart from maybe Bruno that's achieved something excellent.
Yeah, which Bruno has done.
So
I think there'd be a very good argument if City go on to win it and Bernardo Silva keeps up this level of performance that he deserves it as well.
He didn't do it at the start. He hasn't been doing it all season. This is the trouble with these awards, is that it tends to come down to the last 10 games. Who unless someone's done something absolutely outstanding. I do feel for Haaland a little bit because he scored so many goals.
Yeah,
in the first 3-4 months, and then because he's gone on a little barren spell, all of a sudden it's, he's not in form or whatever. But anyway, I'll shut up. Fine, have Bruno. Fine.
Yeah, let's do...
Sweating because of that.
We did it at the start of the season, a combined 11.
Vince was here, wasn't he?
Yeah, we did a combined 11 for Man United versus Liverpool. I think we should do it again now at this point in the season. Man United versus Liverpool, combined 11 from this season. In goal, 100% Senna Lomans.
Yep.
Right back.
You weren't expecting that, were you?
No, I mean, how could you argue?
No. Right back.
You probably got to go Dallo.
Well, you by default, because Curtis Jones hasn't played enough games there, although in the last couple he's been absolutely excellent. Szoboszlai, I'd want him in the midfield alongside one of yours. And so we haven't got another right back. It's not Frimpong, it's not Bradley, so it has to be Dallo.
Okay, Dallo right back. Centre backs.
Verge is in there. He's basically I'm not all on stats, and he has dipped, but he's still number one in terms of clearances, aerial duels, tackles. He's still up there. So I'd have Van Dijk, and you can have one of your boys because it's not Konate.
I think Maguire, Van Dijk.
Yep.
Left back. Luke Shaw. I think he's been pretty good.
Over Robbo?
Yeah. Robertson's not played enough games.
Yeah, it's more this. I think Kirkes has grown into it, but I can't say he's necessarily been better than Shaw.
Midfield, Bruno, Casemiro, Szoboszlai, I'm okay with.
Yeah. I was thinking that you'd go 2-3-1.
I think Kobbie deserves a mention. Kobbie Mainoo, by the way, my word.
That dribble and his defensive work.
How can Thomas Tuchel not pick Kobbie Mainoo? in the summer? How can he not?
This is my issue. Complete separate point. You'll have to clip this up for the clip. You'll have to go back to it. There's too many cooks in this England team. There's too many. There's too many 7 to 8 out of 10s that it's really difficult. You know, he's obviously better than Adam Wharton and Elliot Anderson. He is. But it's the fact that he'll have some of those available to him. Even like Gibbs White, all right, he's more like a 10 or whatever. But there's so many players. There's too big of a pool. It's too big of a squad. You almost need 22, and that's 2 11s maximum. Or even just take the flat 20 for 11 starters and 9 subs. It's like when we had Foden and there was other players that like Rashford could have been there and whatever. It was like everyone was screaming for the sub, but it's just because it's the obvious substitution to make. I think he should be in there, but I just think that's why he's got too many. It's confusion. He's got too many cooks.
I don't think there's another England player who has the qualities that Cobby has on the ball in terms of that first touch, that composure, tight spaces, and also his defensive work. You look at the amount of ground he covers, the amount of yards he gets through during every game, by the way. It's not just 1 or 2. He's almost consistently, every single game, the player that's run the furthest. We're pretty set on that 3.
I think Szoboszlai has to be in there.
Yeah. I think he was really good at the start of the season. But I don't know. There's something about Szoboszlai over the past, when Liverpool were really their form started dipping. I felt like Szoboszlai was almost not the reason, but he was a big
if he doesn't take over,
a lot of his antics, a lot of things he was doing, it just didn't feel right. And then it was
over a couple of weeks. What I would say in his favour is that Cobby's been out of favour during the season, and Szoboszlai's played pretty much every single game and has been pretty consistent, other than a little patch. So he scored a lot of goals for us, 2 belting free kicks against City and Arsenal. And he's been a driving force in whether we've been going down or up. He's been at the forefront of it. So I'd like him in there.
Left wing, I'll go...
Well, it's not Gakpo, so have whoever you want.
Cunha.
Yeah, fine.
Right wing, and Burma.
I think I'd be having Salah. Honestly, you can't tell me that Mbeumo's been better. All right, in big games.
There's no way you're having Salah this season. He's been awful.
Yeah, he has. But in terms of output, he's got more than Mbeumo.
No, he hasn't.
Yeah, he has.
No, he hasn't.
Yeah, he has.
He hasn't got more goals than Brian Mbeumo in the Premier League this season, and he's not been better.
Goal involvements.
I don't know what his assists are. He's not ahead of Mbeumo.
You've been criticising Mbeumo all night tonight, saying, I don't know about him, he's off it.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean that he's had a bad season. Salah's been shocking.
He has been shocking. He's still outperformed Mbeumo.
This is why you can't argue with Liverpool fans, honestly. How on earth can you think, after everything you've said about Salah this season, that he deserves to be in that team?
We'll be back. 13. 7 and 6. 7 goals, 6 assists, and Mbeumo 9 goals, 3 assists. So Salah's got better output. Thank you.
Almost all of his goals have been from the penalty spot. And every touch he makes is an absolute disaster. He gives the ball away. He's your worst player every week.
Better output.
Are you serious?
You'll argue that.
Are you serious?
You'll argue that Cunha's better than Wirtz because he's got more goals and assists.
I don't need to. Cunha's a better player than Wirtz. No. But are you doing it as a wind up, or you actually think that?
Who would you right now? Who would you rather have? Bearing in mind it's going into this.
Mbeumo.
You'd rather have Mbeumo than Salah.
Salah's been garbage all season.
More output.
What are we doing?
What do you mean?
I
didn't want him in the squad. I didn't want him anywhere near the team. But he's produced.
But now he's in a combined 11.
He's produced 13 goal involvements.
Oh, okay. All right. We'll move on. Sesko or Ekatike? I think it's Ekatike. I think he's been way better. That's unbelievable, that.
I've managed to rile you after United win.
Yeah, but you've riled me because you've literally gone at Salah more than me all season. Mm-hmm. You've watched him with your own eyes. He's been awful. And you'd still have him over in Burma because he's a Liverpool player.
No. I'd rather... Mate, if someone is outputting. But no, more
for penalties.
But what? How many penalties?
How many non-penalty goals has Salah got this season?
Loads, mate.
I can't believe that. I can't agree because I can't take you seriously because after everything that you've said about Salah this season, then last second you're going to put him in the team of the season. Yeah, it is out of Liverpool and Man United
Combined 11.
Yeah.
I don't think Mbeumo's been great. So
yeah, but he's been very much clear of Salah.
No, it's not been clear.
But every touch Salah has, he runs into a defender.
Yeah, like Mbeumo. Look at him tonight.
He's going through. Mbeumo's going through a bad patch, but he had a really good patch at the start of the season. Salah's never even got going. Salah's been a 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10 performance every week. He's costing you games.
He's got 2 less goals and 3 more assists.
Because he's scoring penalties.
Assists? He's a winger. What output do you want?
So he's got 3 more assists as a winger.
Yeah. Than Mbeumo, who's also playing as a winger.
I'm astounded. I really am. I can't believe it.
To be perfectly honest, I'd have Ahmad over both of them. Realistically.
Ahmad's been shit.
He's been better than Mbeumo.
Has he been better than Salah?
Probably not. Has he?
No. Well, no, Ahmad's been better than Salah. Yeah. I mean, there's honestly not a player in the Premier League who's been worse than Salah. I think he's been that bad. And you would have agreed with me up until last week.
No.
You literally would have.
This is awesome.
It's not. It's a mockery
of
just general serious football chat.
Let us know in the comments.
But how? It's like you saying something for an entire season. You get to the last couple of games, you go, "Oh yeah, by the way, I was wrong about all of that." Based off no evidence other than there are some numbers on a sheet because he scored more penalties.
He hasn't even scored that many penalties this season.
But look it up. We've already taken a break to do it. You might as well look it up. This is a travesty. Honestly, and I honestly feel like probably I'd agree with you on most of those players in that team. I don't think Van Dijk's had a particularly good season, but I don't think any United centre-halves have. I think Szoboszlai's gone off the boil a little bit, but he has had an overall good season. 2 penalties.
Yeah.
And how many goals?
7.
7 in the Premier League. So he scored 5 Premier League goals.
Yeah.
And Mbeumo's nearly doubled that. So 5 open play.
Doubled his assist.
Yeah, but when you went and looked at a combined, you had 3 and 7. 6 and 7, sorry. So you had 13.
Yeah, 7 and 6. 2 penalty goals. So take out that, he's got 11.
Salah has scored penalties, a couple of penalties in a couple of games where he has been the definition of utter garbage.
Can you at least...
And he's come out of that game with a mark against his name because he's got a goal. You've watched that.
Yeah, I've been saying it all season as well.
Yeah, and you've sat on this podcast and said that he's absolutely awful. Get him out of the team. He shouldn't even be in the squad. Can't wait till he goes. And then now you're saying he should be in the team of the season between Man United and Liverpool.
Only based on the fact that I don't think Mbeumo's been that good.
But Mbeumo has been better than Salah. Hands down. That's unbelievable. I think that there's probably an element of getting you wound up, which is obviously worked. But I think there is definitely way. It's not as clear cut as you're making. It definitely is. Salah's been one of the worst players in the Premier League this season.
Regardless of a bit of banter and all that sort of stuff. It is not as like, oh my God, and Mbeumo's all the way up here and Salah's all the way down there.
I don't think Mbeumo's up there because of what a season he's had. I just think Salah's been so bad, and you have agreed with me every single week until right now when we're doing a combined 11. Because he plays for Liverpool, you've put him ahead of Mbeumo. Salah wouldn't get into any team in the Premier League. The fact that he's in Liverpool's team is because he's a legend of the club and he has been that good. He wouldn't start for any other team. Based off his performances,
I think you're being.
He has been that bad, and you have agreed, like every touch goes to a defender. He can't make a pass. Every time he tries to dribble past a defender, he hits his first man. He's been missing every single chance he's got.
And Burmo has currently gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games without a goal. Salah's got 2 and 4.
Okay, and then the previous? If we're just going to take slots and decide when we want to use them as evidence? Because I'll finish that. Because the previous to that, the last 9 games, before those 9 games, so he had no goals in the last 9 games?
And Burmo now.
So no goals. Okay. In the previous then, he had 9.
That doesn't make sense.
It does, because he scored 9 Premier League goals.
Yeah, so in 18 games in the season.
No, in the previous games, before the last 9 games, he had 9 goals.
Yeah.
Which means Salah, for the previous games before that, had
5.
And 2 of them were pens.
Yeah.
So do you not think that larger chunk of the season counts a little bit more than the previous 9 games that you're talking about that you've cherry-picked?
Yeah, of course I'm cherry-picking them. It's going into this game, no? Who would you rather have going into this game?
No, it's over the season. It's a combined 11 throughout the season. Who's been better?
Well, then in Burma. Is it?
Did you think? So, who are you thinking? Who starts next week?
Yes, in a combined 11.
Oh, I'd still start on Burma.
Oh, well, I think it's closer. This is why I couldn't understand why it was so over the top. If we're taking just
purely the whole season,
okay, but I'm going combined. Who starts on Sunday? If you're taking a combined United and Liverpool 11, I was going to be going, because of recent form, Salah, because Burma's been crap. If you're going, if it's a combined total over the entire season, then yeah, Burma's going to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I think my head just went.
You think?
Because of how ridiculous is it to put Salah in that team when you've been his biggest enemy all season?
Yeah, he was absolutely horrendous. I'm just talking about going into this now. He's got a couple. He's got a couple of goals. He's not playing anywhere near as bad.
Yeah, but if that was true, then you wouldn't have said Ekitike over Sesko, because Ekitike's got a broken fucking leg.
Yeah, but I mean that's okay. Yeah, fair enough. But in that instance, it feels just obvious, doesn't it? It felt obvious to say Ekitike anyway.
Well, he's had a better season, yeah. But if you're going into next week, I'm going to take Sesko who's fit and not Ekitike. So that doesn't even make sense.
Fairs.
Liverpool, where are you at?
Don't think we should start Salah on
Honestly. Honestly, right, if you are a neutral and you don't support either club, or if you're just not a fan of Liverpool, this is what it's like to argue with Liverpool fans.
Oh,
no. They are absolutely unbearable. They will find a way to put one of their players in. No matter, they slag him off. Honestly, the amount of stuff that's come out about Salah from Liverpool fans all season, don't start him, get him gone, can't wait till he goes. The moment you try and put him into a Man United combined 11, no, Salah's been better. It's what it's like to argue with Liverpool fans. You are literally banging your head against the wall.
It's not. It's like that with any fan. It's like that saying anything negative about a United player with you. You'll go off on one and tell me.
No, you can tell me Dallow's terrible. I'll tell you, he's terrible.
The players that you think are terrible, the
players I think are good are actually good.
Yeah, but if
you think Salah's been good all season, he's been garbage. I haven't
said that once. I literally have not said.
Well, you'd have him over in Burma
going into this weekend. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm taking Sesko over Ekitike.
Go for it. Have him. That is what rivalry is about. Right,
but lying to yourself to make you win.
You can't just blanket term, oh, this is what it's like arguing with Liverpool fans. You don't argue with a single other Liverpool fan other than me.
Yeah, I do.
You don't?
Yeah, I do.
Who?
People.
Who? Name them.
Any Liverpool fan who I've met in my life, I've had plenty of arguments with Liverpool fans.
Yeah, that's because you're always right.
How many United fans do I know?
None, because you don't go to games.
Literally, and also he's got me saved in his phone as Armchair Alves. How many times have you been to Anfield this season?
Twice.
Yeah.
How many tickets have I got on my account? 19 home games. That's the difference. whilst you're out doing niche.
I'm out at the games, mate. I said to you,
I might not even be going this weekend now.
Until tonight, it's the only home game that I've missed this year.
Well done, mate. It took 34 years. On to Liverpool, yeah. This weekend, going into this weekend, not confident.
Only it took him 33 years, by the way.
Not confident. I think
United tonight must have given you a little bit of confidence. The fact that we were so open in midfield, it was easy to run through us.
31 minutes. It depends on what Liverpool turn. Nonsense. It depends on. Well, yeah, but it's good. It's good clipping. It's good clippage. You think how many views you're going to get when I'm saying about Salah?
Mate, the only views I get on my channel at the moment are you saying that you're harder than people and better looking than Zoboszlai.
That works.
Oh, by the way, guys, if you're still here, sorry. And second of all, we are genuinely giving away a massive prize at the end of the season. We are trying to rage bait the nation on TikTok because the account is monetized. I can get rewards from views, clicks, shares, any comments as well, which means I'll have a prize pot at the end of the season. I'm going to save it all up, and then I'm going to take us two are going to go to the World Cup, and we're going to take one of you with us. All you got to do is be in the comments. And I would say any video. Yeah. Any on our YouTube, you can be in with a shout. So even if it's this one, I think just comment saying you want to go to the World Cup, and you'll go into a jar. We'll write your name. And
everything helps. Everything helps. Comments, likes, shares, anything, and let us know you've done it. I'm almost certain there are people in the latest 2 Chomp World Cup videos that have watched this, gone over to TikTok, and commented because they're saying nice things and no one's saying nice things. If you have done that, just let us know on here and get yourself in the jar. You can't see it, but it's just there.
It's over there. Yes.
Just go to score predictions.
Okay. You going to the game?
You might not be going to the game unless I take you.
That's not true. I can get a train.
It's train strikes.
It's not train strikes. My ticket is up in the gods. I'll just show you guys.
Just sell it and we'll do a live stream.
No. Oh, do you know what? I'd have a better view on TV 100% than where I am. But beggars can't be choosers, and I'm going to the game and you're not, which means I'm a bigger fan. I'm going to go with 1-1.
Ooh. I'll go 3-1 Liverpool.
Honestly, this is what I mean. What is the point? It's going to get nasty right up until this game goes, and I think after that, then we'll be relaxed again. You said we've had
it's got to be 3-4 months of being amicable.
Yeah.
Because Vince hasn't been on for a while, so...
Yeah. What are you saying? He's the cause of it?
But I think I'm 3-4-1 up in getting you rolled compared to getting me rolled. I'm pretty calm. You get way more animated than me.
I get animated when I hear absolute garbage talk.
What, like United are going to win the league?
Closer than you. You said you were going to walk it at the start of the season. I'll clip that if you want. Don't worry. He said it's going to be a breeze. It's going to be a breeze.
Yeah, with 38 games left to go. You were 12 points behind Arsenal in saying it.
What did I say at the start of the season? Liverpool weren't going to win the league, and I said United will get top 4.
All right,
this is where we stand right now.
Chance of saying who was going to win the league, and you had a 1 in 5 chance of United getting in that happening.
I said United were going to win the league as a chomp. You wrote that for me.
No, you didn't. Yes, I did. You were getting annoyed at Vince that he didn't believe that you were going to win.
No, I was saying to him.
Oh, see what I mean? This is what it's like arguing with a United fan. If he's right, he's right. If he's wrong, he's right.
I never said that. I never said we're going to. I think we're going to win the league. I said you've got to have that belief. Like there's a bit of momentum. Let's see how high we finish. Because if Carrick comes in and wins a load of games, which you said he was never going to do, by the way.
I said he wasn't going to win all of them.
Well, that's obvious.
Well, I was right.
Yeah, it's obvious.
Yeah, so is Liverpool not winning the league and United getting top 4? It's not hard,
and you said Liverpool were going to win the league.
We'll win it next year.
We'll be nice to each other after next week, I'd imagine.
I think we'll probably be nice to each other in the week when we're not doing Liverpool United, but there's always a bit of...
Just chat's nonsense, mate. Honestly, when it comes to Liverpool, what is the point?
A bit ooh. You know? You're going to have the push in the pool, mate.
Imagine being me. Really appreciate you watching, guys. We will be doing some stuff for the game at the weekend on Sunday, whether you end up going or not. I'm going to be there. I'll put a bit of footage from the game. Hopefully we come home with 3 points. But we'll do a little bit of a... We'll do a couple of videos for the guys because you've got to bear in mind, this is a Liverpool Man United podcast. We can't not do anything for the guys when it's the biggest fixture of the season.
Yeah, I'm all ears, mate.
Well, get yourself a ticket then. I
had one. But it was your birthday, so I had to sack off going to Everton away.
It's my fault. Thanks, guys. See you next week.
Love you.
ashes.